lagu pun nak relax.
Kau
messed up.
I picked up your face and not mine.
Kau bawa vehicle hari-hari, takkan kau nak tengok vehicle kau kosong. Tapi kita Melayu, kita tend to make our vehicle look nice. Orang tengok pun, okay ni lori lawa macam rumah. So you must feel comfortable when you're working. Betul tak? Ada orang have this passion lah. They don't tengok video dekat YouTube on Decathlon and stuff. So barang-barang ni semua, so it doesn't come cheap lah, saya kata. For the start, maybe orang nak beli langsir, jadi damn expensive. Yeah, the langsir is not those langsir kita nampak macam dekat Tika when those tipis-tipis. Langsir is damn tebal.
This is Japan cloth. Normally this is the hot one lah. How much per meter? Per meter? 110 for 1 meter. So we usually will wrap all the interior inside. We wrap inside the roof, the back, normally the seat, below, the dashboard.
And Singapore, if you can see orang yang pasal-pasal ni, it's just minimal compared to those in Japan. They spend a few thousands just to just to create the trucks lah. Yep. Hi, my name is Ifan. Right, today you're following me on a road trip on my work. Yes, I deliver ice creams like those brand, the Haagen-Dazs brand. We send to NTUCs, all the supermarkets, how to forget all the petrol stations, 7-Eleven, Cheers, and also hospitals. The ones excluding the supermarket lah, I need to stack them, merchandise for them lah. Ni masuk, kita dah ambil dari tepi ya. Yang besar ni. Finish everything, make it look nice and stuff. Average roughly 15-16, but then the max I ever carried 26 place. Now International Plaza, aku benci sini, banyak ERP, saman berlambak. Lagi aku settle 7-Eleven and stuff kan, lagi 7-Eleven ada yang tepi road, ada Lubing Bay. Tak masuk, tak ada masuk. Actually aku masuk, tapi masalah dia orang-orang dalam sini semua tu buat delivery tak apa. Aku just notice gila susah je. Kadang-kadang kau deliver segini, kadang-kadang tiba-tiba orang main keluar atau just vehicle dash from the back to that seat je. Di tempat pun kita consider samannya dia juga. Kau nampak dalam, macam nampak dalam kecil. Dekat je vehicle. Aku seram bila park loading way macam ni. Aku salah reverse kau melanggar kereta belakang, masalah. now we're going off to state court. Okay. Reasons why going on state court pasal one of our members, because of his old offence. Just gonna support him lah, give him some courage kan.
Dia dekat JTC lah. Tu mana yang kejadian dia lah. Apa yang saya dengar, dia di-charge dengan housebreaking. Kalau kita tengok balik dia punya kejadian tu, dia bukan rumah, terbuka untuk semua yang untuk datang. Jadi kita semua kat situ is cuci vehicle kita. Ada satu point of time we short of sabun untuk cuci vehicle. So my friend just went in and take, because it's not locked, it's not even locked. So the door is open. So my kawan saya just take a few liter of the liquid to wash the vehicle. Ya, memang betul lah, ambil tanpa izin, kira salah. Correct. That's where he's wrong lah. I'm not saying he's always right. Dia salah. Tapi for what I see, apa yang pandangan saya is benda kecil. Caught was caught by camera. If the supervisor or the management to call my friend down, and misal kata diorang panggil suruh bayar balik tu 1 gallon of liquid, kita pun tak kisah. But to the extent they take, diorang bawa ni benda, ni hal kecil membesarkan, I'm quite sad to hear that lah. Then kawan saya pun di-charge di court.
How's it? How's the result? How do you feel
Result
about your friend result?
satisfying lah. After a few months,
He's out lah.
he's out finally soon. Kira bulan ni kan. After end of the year lah. Okay lah. So yeah. Tapi
Who was
tetap-
there just now?
Wawan, Apit, Iwan, Manzul, and the family of course. All them from Abang Trailer of course.
Dah nonton belum? Ha? Pada hari siapa?
Actually ni tempat baru lah. Last time kita used to be kat JTC. Tapi ada some complicate apa macam management complain something like that kan. Jadi kita tak ada tempat kan. So kita was finding. Then one of kita punya abang-abang request datang sini.
Di mana?
Di depan pula, cuci lori.
Kenapa korang kena cuci kat sini ya?
Because Singapore heavy vehicle di tempat cuci selalu dari apa? Sikit. Then after that gonna wait to wash kan. So we find a public car park. So that's the best place to cuci lah.
Because I'm from childhood sini apa. Jadi okay lah. Janji sini tak kacau orang, tak apa okay.
Today is our first day lah. Try kat sini, lepak sini. No, tapi hopefully tak ada apa-apa akan berlaku. Maybe this is the first and the ever lah.
Kalau tak susah lah nak cari tempat. Seorang komplain, kebanyakan orang komplain.
But actually kita tak buat bising pun kan.
Kenapa orang nak kena komplain Korang tengah cuci kereta je.
Biasalah, barang free diorang tak kasi buat.
Sakit dia.
Itu kan water jet, sebenarnya water jet lah sebenarnya kan. Water jet.
Aku lagi suka cuci sendiri daripada suruh orang cuci macam kita bayar. Pasal ni kita per vehicle dah macam kita punya second wife lah. Kita nak kena bersihkan ni everything. Kalau kita suruh orang cucikan, rasa macam kita tak puas hati lah. Kadang-kadang ada some spots yang diorang miss. So kita rasa macam alamak, kita waste kita punya duit untuk suruh diorang cuci.
Kadang diorang cuci just to like nak cepat dia cuci. And after that, one thing, you don't have fun with your friends pun. Right? So if you cuci like this, ramai, have fun lah sama-sama.
So kita asyik kerja. And then this is the time untuk kita macam jumpa kawan-kawan, jumpa adik-adik kita sendiri, untuk berbual, untuk have fun, untuk ketawa. Kalau kita dah jumpa, dah macam 10 tahun tak jumpa lah.
Buat apa sih? Saya ni sekali pun, Syar. Dia yang offer. Jom makan
Juga apa?
Nasi lemak 140. Kengsong.
Power. So bila kita reverse, kita connectkan dengan apa, wire LED dengan reverse buzzer. So every time the reverse, the bunyi, LED will come out. Okay?
LED will come out.
LED will come out. No, the light will come out, not LED.
Light will come on.
Come out lah.
On.
On. On. On. Kau jangan kikik Asia. Aku tak belajar dengan orang. Kau tahu aku kerja gini.
First stop.
Ion.
What time is it?
9. Right now is 9. Usually maybe 9:30. Tengok yang look letak stuff and yeah. Let's see how.
Aku nampak muka sekali muka aku kat situ.
Muka kau.
Reflection. Bukan muka apa sah?
Alright. It's time to work. You don't work, you got no money. When you got no money, you got nothing to spend on. And you got nothing to spend on, what's life? I'm driving a company vehicle. In order for me to have my own vehicle, I need to do whatever they want me to do. That's the whole point of why we work in a company. They have our own vehicle. Some people, they don't want to work extra. So when the company start to disturb them, then they will start making noise. The fact is that when the company gives you a vehicle, they have the right to ask you to work this day, this day. It's actually true lah, right? Sometimes I'd rather go out and work rather than sitting at home and rest. For me, my body's too used to working. Even if it means Monday to Sunday, at least I'm trying my best to find something to do. So one of the things that I enjoy most is working lah. You don't have much time to talk with your friends. The only friends you may talk to is the ones you're delivering to. So at least you will enjoy your work. Along the way, when you feel shitty about your work, at least those customers who you collect your stuff from and you're delivering to, they make your day. So when I don't enjoy my work, I'll feel like shit every single day, and it makes me become like a lazy dumbass that who don't even want to work. Driving for me, you get a vehicle, you can travel everywhere you want lah. But then in Singapore, you want to own a car, it's damn expensive lah. So I rather work with a company, I do my job well, I get a vehicle, drive home. For class 3 my job, it's not easy to get high pay. Cannot expect much. Market price roughly less than 2k.
Is there anything you look forward to?
Every day. Well, actually, nothing much. Just hoping for my house. The rumah, the house dapat. Look forward to home every day. Because there's a difference when you live in a rental house and a normal house. Rental house, you feel walaupun ada bumbung, you appreciate it lah. But then there's that you don't have your own room. Because when you buy your own house, you have your own room, a place where you be angry, be sad, be everything all about inside the room.
Oh, ni dia.
This is my block. So I don't have parking, proper parking for lorries. Dulu there was this open car park over here. They have to close down the car park. Bila dia tutup that car park, all the cars, all the trucks, all semua yang park sini, semua nak kena berambus. We don't know mana nak tukar tempat, kau tahu tak? It's like being so shitty. We just park the side sekejap. So ni semua season parking. Kita lorry driver mana nak park? Aku nampak satu blok kat Yishun tu. Diorang ada multi-story for trailer tau. The bottom part of the multi-story are all the trailers, big trucks. Aku tengah fikir asal Singapore tak boleh buat macam tu. Not really every estate lah, but every part of Singapore should have something like that. Baik aku buat. My block will be around that area. Basically block lama, we just left 2 of the block and 2 of that. So the rest semua dah demolish.
Tapi kau tinggal sini berapa lama?
Dah 3 years plus.
So much change, huh?
Yeah. So aku tak tahu, aku pun tahu one day this block will be an end block lah. Confirm plus stop already. So they will build a new flat semua. Confirm harga setengah mampus. The new blocks over there almost 500,000. 400 plus thousand, 300 plus thousand.
Apa perasaan kau kalau macam itu?
Kalau aku tak nak stay sini lah. Sini too expensive lah. This is my corridor. My house is near the end. Right now it's 12:56 going to 1 o'clock. So basically bapak aku dah tidur. Mum baru habis terlelap and stuff. So let's show you a sneak peek a bit of my life, my house a bit. Right.
Masuk.
Masuk sikit lah. So you see my house is a bit cramped sikit lah. So there's barang from rumah besar go to small room. So very cramped. So sebab tidur aku just a small portion.
Mana?
This over here. This is my resting place and stuff. Having to sleep in this type of condition also quite rabak lah. Example from one day korang drive and stuff, then tidur kat tempat-tempat gini still cramp, so body also might not get healthy lah. So yeah.
Then how did you join Abang-Abang Trailer?
How aku first join was when aku ternampak lah abang-abang ni semua start buat amal and stuff. So macam think about it why not aku start now to maybe give back to the society semua. Okay lah, semua orang pernah buat salah. So it's time for us to maybe make a change lah. Giving back to the society as in doing amal, doing something good for the whole Malay organisation ke apa. Not only for the Malays, maybe for the Chinese, for other races juga lah.
So when I make my own club with only inside I think around 8 people only. And starting from there kita dah start make a first escort. First escort sambutan dia very meriah. So people start to join. When people start to join me, then I try to think out of the box. Okay, let's do amal pula. Kita buat amal pula, kita buat kebaikan. Bagi aku tak habis orang cakap ni truckers kalau masuk kapal buat mengukak lah, bising lah, escort lah, itu semua. Pasal orang asyik fikir kita negatif Harley Davidson, Ferrari, Beatles or what, semua buat approve. They do charity and I think got a few Ferrari inside ECB, but no complain. Ethos lagi escort. Oh, but when come to us, less scary aku ada buat video for Abang-Abang Trailer with family lah.
Ini dia ketibaan Abang-Abang Trailer datang untuk escort pengantin Jeb. Hidup Abang-Abang Trailer SG. Yes.
We at the proper lane we at the 4th lane all we at the 4th lane. We never overtake or what, we just at the 4th lane. Pun kena tahan. Semua kena tarik tepi, semua kena 1 point, semua kena saman. That's why modification. So for me is not fair lah. Why they can but why we can't?
Malam ni buat apa?
Ha? Main apa? Kerja.
Kerja.
Ha.
Hari ni hari apa?
Sunday, Singapore mah. Singapore tak ada duit habis.
Kira kerja 7 hari Syah.
Ha?
Kau kerja 7 hari.
Sekali-kala. Sekali.
Berapa start malam? Jadi,
Rafli kata aku 10.
Acun tu yo.
Tapi 9:30 dah sampai.
Jam. Aku serius nak.
Hujan.
Betul. Tapi aku
tak boleh
bayar full sekarang kau. So hantar aiskrim kan? Dah aiskrim.
Alright. Thank you. Check focus.
So dah habis lah.
Habis, settle.
So what happens after this?
What happens after this? Go home and rest.
Balik lah.
Ya Allah. Maybe at night.
Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Teo Yu Yen, and I'm very happy to moderate this panel that's talking about the film Trailer Boys. And today we have two panelists. The first is Yusri Shaggy Sapari, who is the filmmaker who created Trailer Boys. He makes videos under Paradise Pictures and is a multimedia artist for theatre shows. Shaggy's documentary, which you just watched, Trailer Boys, premiered in 2018 as part of the Freedom Film Festival in Petaling Jaya. And the film was part of the official selection for Singapore Shorts 2019 and was also nominated for the National Youth Film Awards that same year. Also with us, a face you'll be very familiar with by now since you've just seen the film, is Muhammad Ifan Rafieh, who is featured in Trailer Boys and is a key member of the Abam Abam Trailer Singapura, which is a community of heavy vehicle drivers from Singapore. So we're very pleased to have the two of them. And to start the ball rolling, I have a question for each of them. Yeah. For Shaggy, I wonder if you can tell us a little bit more about how you came to make this film. And then also for Irfan, maybe your experience being in this film. Yeah, over to you.
Who should go first, me or Irfan?
Either one.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
Well, I made this film in 2017, so quite some time back. One of the impetus was me seeing a modified truck pass by. I was wondering to myself, like, why do people have the need to modify their truck? It's so weird. So I caught myself in this moment of judgment, and then I wanted to atone for my sins, for judging someone I've never met. So I did a Facebook call out. I'm very, very, very active on Facebook, if you know me in person. So I did a Facebook call out, and someone responded with this group called Abang Abang Trailer Singapura. And that's when I first started meeting Teddy, the leader of the group. And then I got to know the group Abang Abang Trailer Singapura in person. And knowing them in person gave me some first-hand insights into what they were all about and why they did what they did and what other good things that they did. And I think that one of the lessons I learned from this process is that whatever disagreements you have with people, it's always best to see it from their point of view. It's always helpful. Yes. Over to Irfan.
Okay, Irfan.
Okay, yeah. So, what about my experience? My experience is that okay lah, wanted to be inside films and stuff, short films. So excited when Shaggy approached me. So kind of nervous in the start, but then as things goes by, being naturally, so be just follow the rhythm of the whole thing lah. So basically excited lah, and get to know the whole film was going for this awards thing and stuff. So it's really kind of surprised lah. Didn't
Yeah.
expect lah. Yeah.
Ah,
So
okay.
yeah.
When you were making the film and then when you see the film, was it what you imagined it would be?
Actually more than that lah. more than what I thought it would be lah.
Wow.
Because yeah, knowing Shaggy, he really researched about someone and stuff, how he thought, how he asked the question and stuff really like makes me like okay. Also making a film something like this and that lah. So at least I get a clear picture. Then after that, watching the film, very proud of how he does his work and stuff lah. Very very much to like professional side lah.
Mm,
So
okay.
yeah.
How long did the process make? What was the how long did did it take to make the film, Shaggy? And how did you go about knowing all the members in the group and things like that?
I think it took more than a year. It's very important for me at the time to build a genuine relationship with the group and the members. So I took my time actually with this film because I really wanted it to not be a touch and go situation. I wanted it to be like a long-term relationship, not just about me capturing a story from a bunch of people and then saying goodbye after that. So I think that was very important to me. That's why I took more than a year to create this movie. But I have to give credit to the mentors at the film festival, Freedom Film Festival, for always giving me the right criticism and nudges to create a compelling story lah out of this. Because initially when I made the film, I just wanted to talk about the good stuff. And one of the criticisms I receive is something that I carry till today. Is that I think because of the way we make videos in Singapore, you always tend to want to just show the good stuff, and then what is created just looks like a corporate video lah. Not interesting at all. So that was something that pushed me to create this film, and I'm quite proud of what we built. And not for the contributions of the Abang trailer, not for the contributions of the festival, it wouldn't have gone this well lah. Yeah. And I would like to also add that we managed to receive the Audience Choice Awards for VITSI jury in 2018 or 2019 because of the support of the community. So I think it's very enriching to be able to work with a community and have that work make them feel like Irfan said earlier, proud that they are being represented, in a way. But I did not set out to create this work as a representational piece. I just created it as something for us to get to know someone new. Yeah.
Okay. Irfan, we got to see through this film, some aspects, some of your friends from the club, and some aspects of what you all do together. Can you tell us and the audience a little bit more about how the club came to be and what you all do and what the community is like?
Okay. So basically, this club, how it was set up is a bunch of trailer drivers. Okay, they wanted to do something good. Okay, everyone has a different background perspective. Some were ex-convicts, some were regular people, some were really, can say very not a too good label people. Something like people criticize them as gangsters or people with tattoos, such as someone who are not supposed to mix with and stuff. So this group of guys driving traders, they want to make something better for the community. Okay, not just for the Malay community, but the whole community. Okay, for the whole race and stuff. So they decided to do something unexpected. Like when you see someone wearing tattoos and stuff, you don't expect them to do charity.
Mm.
When you don't see someone like ex-convicts, you also don't expect them to do something good, right? So they try to make something of it. So they start with charity. So with charity, you see as a group of people, all with tattoo and stuff, they started to do something good, and from there they came up with things for the whole group to do lah. Something like okay, you see like every weekends we having picnics and stuff. So yeah, so basically it's a get back to society thing.
Mm.
Yeah, so to make people see that okay, doesn't mean you are bad people or you're ex-convict. You cannot have a better life. You cannot have a life that people do not wish to have. I mean, people wish to have, which is like something like you don't expect to see everyone that is bad to do charity, do good things. Okay, but some like what do you call that? Some like you don't see good people doing charity. You don't see bad people doing charity. So it's just a way of expressing how we are giving back to society lah.
Mm.
So that's the main point of the group lah. It's not about people joining just to have fame, just because you see, okay, the last time Abang Trailer has nothing. Okay, so over the years, people keep on coming to us, wanting to join us and stuff. Okay, so for the sake of doing charity, to make it more lively, then after that, we have this trend where every year, Geylang Serai, right, they're having the market and stuff, bazaar and stuff. To be honest, the bazaar nowadays really is very dull.
Mm.
So we want to make it lively like how it was in the back then. So we have this drive around with the lights and stuff for a day only for the whole year. Yeah. So we do charity at the same time we have fun and we have fun as a family, something like a family. Yeah. So that's something about that.
Mm. And how big is the group? How many members do you all have?
We got members from Singapore, we got members from Malaysia, we got members from Thailand, Malaysia. So adds up roughly 100 plus
Ah,
members.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. There's actually a question from the audience member that is a little bit related to what you just said. So I will
Okay.
just read it out and maybe you answer first and then Shaggy can also comment if he wishes. Someone asks, hi guys, in your opinion, has anything changed in terms of how judgmental society has been since the release of the film in 2018?
Can see in without change actually a bit hard to say.
Hmm.
A bit hard to say. Being judgmental and stuff that is a normal thing really. Yeah. So like how what Shaggy does is like get to know someone and stuff. Then after that you know lah how the person is and stuff. For me, I don't really care lah about all these judgmental people lah. You may see us like different, but then when you talk to us, it's a different person. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's my point of view lah.
Okay. But when the film came out, you must have gotten quite a lot of support from family and neighbors and friends like that.
Yeah, I got a bit of support lah. Not say a lot lah, a bit lah.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, because the point where that we made a film, okay, where I share my personal story and stuff also. So for me, it's not about how I want to gain sympathy from anyone or something. It's just that um a bit of myself lah, a bit of
Mm.
myself to express lah. Like there's no reason for you to is there no reason for you to like be sad with your life or what lah. Everyone has different situations in life. So this is part of my life. So some people message me like, yeah, I sympathy with you and say, hey, I don't feel yeah, sympathy or something lah. I just want to show okay what it's like lah to be my situation. For
Mm.
me, the working part I rather work more because I enjoy working. Enjoy working because we meet with people, interact with people. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Shaggy, do you want to comment on this question as well in terms of sort
The
of,
judgmental one.
yeah.
I think since 2017 now, the way we use social media has become more intense, especially when we were during our lockdown period. Um, we tend to amplify what we see a lot. So I won't say whether it's good or bad. There's an amplification of, for example, when we see a delivery rider delivering food in the rain, a lot of people would take a picture and then like say, "Oh, kudos to the delivery rider for helping uh, deliver our food, no matter how difficult it gets." So there's a lot of these expressions online, um, and on the other side also, when someone makes a mistake, those views will also amplify. So reactions are stronger. Whether it's warranted or not, I'm not so sure. Yeah, that's what I feel about the judgmental side of society today versus 2018.
Okay. There are a few more questions, so I'll just take them one by one. There was a question, I think, specifically at Irfan, which is a question about whether truckers' lives have been much affected during COVID. In the last 2 years, how has the pandemic affected your work and your life?
To be honest, it doesn't affect much. Because in Singapore, no matter what situation you're in, okay, truck drivers, trailer drivers, we still have a place to, to work and stuff. Because it's much more in demand. For my side, I'm driving a freezer truck. So I deliver most to the retail stores and stuff. So my side, not say going less, but to be more in demand. Yeah, more shops to send and stuff. So it doesn't really affect much. For the trailer side, so I don't see a point where the situation worsens during COVID. It's like normal basis really.
I
Yeah.
see. Were you working throughout the whole period, even during the lockdown period? Were you working also
Yes, the
then?
whole time, all the way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So a bit risky actually, a bit risky. But then to be honest, for me this COVID situation, no matter where you go, you try to be safe and stuff. I think if you wanna reach, you still reach on. It's just that we have to take extra measures in taking care of our safety lah. Yeah, I've seen my friends one by one they get COVID and stuff, but then it's just best to take extra measures, whatever vaccines and stuff. Just go ahead and take, just to stay protected. You may never know one day if you get COVID. It's how your body heals and stuff lah. That's from my opinion lah. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you gotten your booster shot?
No, not yet.
Okay, just asking.
Shaggy, since we're talking about COVID, has it affected your work as a filmmaker?
Initially it did. Initially a lot of work has been postponed or cancelled, but as the industry started to embrace digitalization and working online, just like what we are doing right now, I think things picked up once again. So I'm quite privileged and fortunate lah to be able to continue uh, doing what I love. But at the same time, I don't think I can make this documentary again during this period, if you are to ask me, because if you want to do a community-based work, you need people to gather and be like informally just hanging out, and I don't think COVID allows us to hang out in this
Yeah.
way anymore. And at the same time, the wearing of masks in public spaces cuts away this layer of communication between people. So making a film during this period is not that interesting. A lot of things are staged. Yeah, it's not the same anymore lah, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. I think I hear that also from people who do community work, who are community workers, right? Who normally in their work, they do a lot of on the ground kind of, walking the neighborhood. And like you say, a lot of, actually a lot of that work is about relationship building and hanging out and, spending time face to face talking to one
Informal. It
another.
has to be
Yeah.
informal.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you make it too formal, then people are there are barriers.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
formality comes with barriers, and doing work that involves social groups, you need to put down our barriers, and that's where you get the real interaction, which I think COVID-19 kind of put dampen that quite a bit.
Mm. Okay. There was also another question. I think this one is directed at Shaggy. What's the most interesting thing you've experienced or seen during your work? The meaning of interesting can be up to you. And in brackets, they say asking this question because of that scene when you're briefly shocked by your own reflection in the window.
Mm, this work has given me the opportunity to look behind the curtain a lot. So there was a period where I was doing documentaries about the food culture in Singapore. And doing documentaries about the food culture in Singapore means that I get to sneak into many different kitchens, hawker center kitchens, restaurant kitchens, and I get to see like how serious uh, our food heroes are when they are, creating the food that we eat every single day, and how clean their restaurants are or dirty, you know. So that's something I would say is interesting to me in my line of work, to be able to see what goes on behind things that to us are very normal. Yeah, like restaurant kitchens,
Mm,
for example.
okay. Irfan, I know the film Shaggy's film is about your life and your story. Yeah, some aspects of it, of course, a film cannot capture all aspects of life. But I wonder when you were filming it and when you watch it, were there parts of your own life as seen in the film that you were surprised by that you saw in a different way after watching the film?
Mm, so not much surprise. For me, it's like my daily life really.
So
Yeah,
Shaggy captured it quite well. Huh?
correct. He's done a good part on that. Really good part. But then, like I say, it's fun making films like this. You also would never know like, oh, my life is like that. But I see you've done it like every day, That's your daily life. And first few parts, I was like, oh, okay lah, my life is like this lah. Yeah. But then overall, it's a good thing lah. It's a good shot itself. Yeah.
Mm, mm. So earlier, Shaggy was mentioning the hanging out, and one of the scenes in the film that I really liked was when you all were getting together, washing the trucks, and just kind of hanging out. Right, everybody's
Yeah.
has been working, tired, so it's a nice time to relax while still doing something you need to be doing. So I wonder, given COVID and given the fact that it's been more difficult to get together, whether those activities can still carry on or not.
Very hard. Very hard to get it and stuff. Even washing vehicles or now we really like own time own target our own self. Because
Mm,
you cannot gather with a lot of people. And the thing is that COVID is a very serious spread. So you wouldn't want to bring it back to your family. If you were to get COVID, you rather get it yourself. You don't want to spread your friends. Because we love all our friends. We love all of our families. So doing something as risky as gathering with many people and stuff, it's a very high risk activity which you don't want to get involved in.
mm,
Yeah. By doing so, you are like threatening your own family lah. So
mm, mm.
no lah, it's a no go lah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So how do you all maintain the community? Do you use different ways of maintaining the community now?
We have our group. We have different people, different in charge of different aspects. So we have one guy in charge of charity who like gather a few people we cannot get a whole team to come down. So we get a few people who's not really into charity before. So we get them to get used to it. So like us, we already done before them. We give the new ones go to try to lah.
Mm.
So in that said, like being charity, we still have our WhatsApp group, so we still keep in contact. Yeah. But like I say, gathering a lot of people is way too risky, so we still wait for the chance to meet up together lah.
Yeah.
Once in a while, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully things will get better soon. I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah. There's another question from an audience member. I think this is for Ivan. What is something shocking that you think society doesn't know about trailer drivers?
One shocking thing is that what we face on the road. Yeah, be it trailer drivers, be it lorry drivers, people don't really see or feel what we feel. Yeah, maybe people see us once in a while we drive a bit too fast or a bit too rushing because of our work. It's not that we want to, to drive like that or what. Then after that, some people for the trailer side, some people don't really have the tendency to wait, to be patient. That cause a lot of accidents and stuff. Because driving a big truck, the blind spots are really really tricky. So some trailer drivers when they turn and stuff, this car they like to just dash in on the side and stuff. Yeah, when accidents happen, they still blame the trailer driver. Yeah, one thing that maybe a lot of people don't know is that when you are driving a bigger vehicle, when anything happens, the police will still blame the bigger vehicle.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's for me, it's like cannot be too selfish lah to think about yourself. Sometimes you have to see what work they're doing, how they train and stuff. You should research more lah. That's why every time last time we have this motor fest. So during this motor fest, we have our booth where we tell the people, we share our knowledge on how to see these blind spots, so they get a chance to go up the trailer and see for themselves lah. This is a really tricky thing for driving a big truck. Yeah, so that's one thing lah.
How many years have you been driving?
Me, I've been driving for 7 years. But thinking of going to a big truck, and during the COVID, I rather not take the risk first lah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Shaggy, I wonder if you want to comment on this question too about this question I just asked Irfan about what you think, what else you think people may not know about trailer drivers.
I just want to emphasize what Irfan mentioned earlier, which was that back when we could do events, the guys from Abang Trailer would have like an exhibition booth, and then they educate the public about, or other road users, about the dangers of blind spots for trucks. Yeah, I think owing to my experience in the army also, we learn a lot about like driving big trucks and how the blind spots, the public might not be aware of, like when you are at certain positions in relation to the truck, it's more dangerous for you than for them. Even though you expect the truck driver to be more vigilant, no matter how vigilant they are, they really can't see you at all.
Right.
So that's something that I think road users should be aware of, that trucks have very, very, very severe blind spots. No matter how hard or how many mirrors they add, also they can't see you at all. So, and I'm glad that these guys actually care to share their experiences with the public whenever they can. I'm just sad that during this period we can't really do much events anymore.
Yep. There was a question that was related to my earlier question, but let me read it anyway. The scene depicting you and your friends coming together to work on the truck, cleaning and maintaining it, is very warm and symbolic of friendship, work, and hanging out. Do you see you can continue to do this? I think you answered it a little bit about the difficulties in doing that, but I wonder if you want to comment some more on the friendship aspect of this, comment on your friendship with the other truckers.
For me, like when you watch your vehicles together, you actually have fun together. You get to know more about the person. Okay, like how you talk, how you joke around, how you create a bond is a very special thing. It's not whether you clean or you clean for a day, then after that you know the person. It's not the way lah. It's just that when you talk, when you joke around with them, you actually get a sense of okay, what type of person they are and stuff. Uh, so basically, that's why we love to watch the truck together and stuff. For us cleaning the truck ourselves is much more cleaner than going to the shop lah. Because we know where to clean and stuff lah. So yeah, much more efficient lah. But then the thing about us washing the vehicles, we actually don't have a proper place to wash. Okay, because some are driving small lorries, then some are driving big trucks. So a bit hard for us to get a proper point for everyone together lah. So most of the time we was either go to the industrials or we will do at the multi-story car park in the outside area. But then, like you say about the judgmental people thinking like, wow, we were wasting water, we're dirtying the place and stuff. Something like that. There's something to us, but we couldn't really care less because we don't have a proper place. But then that's one of our ways of how we create the bond.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, we haven't talked about the decorations, but the decorations are also a very important part of this, right? And one of the visually very rich things about this film was your trucks and the curtains and the lights and all those things. Are y'all still able to? Are you still doing that?
Yeah. We stay doing that. Yeah. Maybe to the point where it's like we are, we are using company trucks. Why would we waste money to decorate? Okay, first thing, we are driving more than 12 hours a day. Confirm. More than 12 hours. Wake up early. We wouldn't want to feel like, okay, we're working. After that, we feel uncomfortable with ourselves at the trucks. That's why we rather clean it up, make it feel like home. Okay, so when we finish our work, at least we feel happy, looking at our trucks and stuff. Okay, so that's one of how we express ourselves lah. Okay, to decorate and stuff. So to make sure we have fun, even during work, that we feel comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And do you have ways of sharing the? I know you all have a Facebook group, but do you all share your trucks, the modifications you do, and things like that?
I actually modification stuff we
Not
wouldn't
really.
really post much. Wouldn't post much. Because everywhere when you do something that is not good to the eyes of the public, right? If you share it online, there's a lot of people who will report
Right,
it and
right,
stuff.
right. Of course, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Of
So
course.
rather the authorities see themselves, they're getting these reports and stuff. No point.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So only privately, lah.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, yeah, makes sense. Shaggy, when you first saw the trucks, you mentioned earlier that your interest in truckers started with the noticing their trucks, right? And then when you started getting to know them and seeing the inside of their trucks, did you how did that change, or how did that shape the film you wanted to make? Did it shape the way you wanted to make the film? Because that was one of the first things you started this film with.
Good question. Honestly, after knowing the kind of money that they spend on this, I see it as a hobby, or I see it as a way for the truck drivers to decorate their office, so to speak. Like Irfan said earlier, this is 12 hours of their life every single day in this cabin. So decorating the truck is just their way of beautifying their own office. I might not I might not understand the aesthetic, but I can appreciate the need to create a comfortable working space for yourself. So I can appreciate that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And also in Singapore, where we don't really have much time for ourselves, sometimes having a hobby keeps us going. So that's what I see this truck decoration uh, activity is to me lah. Now that I've made the film and watched it for myself.
Right, right. You mentioned that you spent 1 year making this film, so there must have been a lot of different ways to tell this story, right? To distill 1 year's worth of work into 20 minutes is not an easy thing. Did you have how does that work? How does that happen? You know?
Uh, I'm just very brutal when I do video editing. So there are huge scenes that are not in the movie. One of the scenes is when the guys went to Kuala Lumpur to have their own booth for a mega meetup with Malaysian truck clubs. So they were like almost more than 100 trucker clubs, similar to Abang Trailer, within Peninsular Malaysia itself. And I got to see how wild that was. So the guys, the truckers in Malaysia were like on their trucks, sitting on a truck, playing with their horns. It was quite wild lah. So a lot of scenes had to be dropped because I had to focus on the core characters of the story and what I was trying to show about the guys, or about Irfan specifically. So I had to focus the message. So like I said earlier in this panel, I need to find points of conflict in the story so that the story is not boring or the story is interesting. Because if I just show everything is happy and good and like yay yay yay, then the story itself has no flow lah. It's very hard to follow the story. Yeah, that's one of the biggest lessons I got from this process.
Okay. And for you, Irfan, did anything change for you during that year when the film was being, or when Shaggy was making the film?
Nothing much. It's just more to exposure lah. And my hopes were hopefully the right authorities will like settle things about my home and stuff. Yeah, but within the year, nothing much either.
Okay. There was a question about what are Abang Trailer's goals or plans moving ahead? Any goals or plans that are different from what you all are already doing now?
Maybe spreading more positivity, letting people know more about us in a good way. It's just that showing that we can actually do more as a positive person. Okay, it's not like every truck driver is more to negativity. We are more to a positive side, cheerful and stuff. Yeah, that's why maybe we widen our channel of people lah, the connections and stuff to maybe do more good activities and stuff out there, and maybe we can do more campaigns on the like just now the road traffic and stuff on the trailer side, blind spot scene and stuff lah. That is our main aspects lah. We are more to right now we are more to making people aware lah of how driving truck is and stuff. Yeah.
Right. Okay. There was a very specific question about who pays the fines for parking offences. Does the company pay the fines? You pay the fines?
Yeah, we pay a bunch of stuff.
I see.
Nowadays, every company go, they give you the truck, so you are fine to do whatever you need. You get a parking summon, go and settle it yourself and stuff.
I see.
Work related, depends on the company. So for like my case, I'll be delivering to shopping malls and stuff. But if I were to park somewhere which is not supposed to, it's really my own fault lah. So that's how the company works lah. So if you get summoned for the things that you do wrong, you settle it yourself.
I see. Okay. Shaggy, there's audience members who are curious as to what your future and current projects are.
Actually, before COVID-19 like happened in last year, right? I wanted to do more films regionally, more documentaries in like countries such as Indonesia or Bangladesh, because I wanted to explore stories in these places. But because of COVID-19, we were not really able to travel. Currently, I'm overseas, but this is only because there's a VTL and is the one country that I always go to every year. In terms of work, I haven't been keen on doing documentaries for a while. I've been stuck because in Singapore there was a huge surge of people doing documentaries during when the COVID-19 pandemic first struck. And a lot of these documentaries were dealing around the same kind of topic, which is like appreciating frontliners or like trying to be inspirational, trying to find like desperately trying to turn people into objects of inspiration, which I might not necessarily agree with. So I was very disillusioned by how documentaries were being made throughout 2020 and then of course also 2021. So I didn't want to do documentaries anymore actually. So I wanted to do something different. I was thinking of doing a musical. So we shall see how that goes. Uh, my next film would probably be a musical.
I see.
Let's just put it out there.
Okay. There's I mean, this 2 years actually there's been quite a lot of news about the arts industry being quite severely affected by COVID, right? Because of
Mm.
not being able to show things to audiences, because of community not being able to come together. Do you want to comment on that at all?
I think there's another side to it as well. I think one good positive development is that people who are working in the arts are more open to digital ways of presenting their art form. For me specifically, I work in theatre, so I'm glad that okay, I wanna rewind a bit more. My history with theatre started by digitalizing old works um, so that it can be presented to newer audiences. I think recording your shows, particularly live shows such as theatre shows, I think is very, 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 very important. Every time you record something, it's actually a time capsule for future generations. Imagine watching a. Wouldn't you want to watch a Singapore theatre work from the 1990s today, just to know how far our industry has come? So the thing about recording shows is that we don't appreciate the purpose of it until 10 years down the road. Like at now, it seems like a chore. I'm talking about before COVID-19 pandemic. It felt like a chore. It's like it's an afterthought. Like, oh yeah, by the way, we need to record the show because it's on a grant. The grant says we need to do an archival. Then they do the archival. But I think now what I'm glad is that people see the importance of having a digital version of their show. And for people like me, that's a welcome development because one of the reasons why I started my company is because I wanted to record shows. And I feel that it is another layer of how audiences can experience your work. I know that recording a show does not replace the live experience, but maybe you can reach audiences that would have zero knowledge or zero experience with your show just because you have it in a video version. So I think that's something that is important.
Right.
Because those hardcore fans will come to your show no matter what. We must find other ways to look for other audiences. So I think digitalization allows us to bridge other gaps that we never thought of. And I feel that's a positive thing about this whole pandemic lah.
I see. Okay. Okay. Irfan, there was another question about whether you and your friends who are truck drivers have any fear about your job security, jobs being replaced or displaced.
Yes, maybe not. Like I said, previously, our driver side is most worried, so there's not much of a worry lah. everywhere you go, you still need drivers. Be it the same company or different company, you still need drivers in Singapore. Transportation in Singapore is really that good lah. Yeah, so you need to transport goods and stuff, and still they will still find someone to transport. Let's say if the whole thing worsens, then companies might lose you and stuff or might throw you away or what. You still can adapt lah,
Yeah.
adapt to the life lah. So like any work you throw at us, because our work itself is hectic. You throw us in any kind of work which is hectic, we still can adapt to it lah. That's one thing good about us lah.
I see. Okay. Are there anything about the job conditions that you think can be improved?
Job conditions. I think like yeah, nothing much. It's gonna be the same thing over and over again for the job wise in Singapore. No difference one. No matter how you feel for it to change, it's still gonna be the same system now and then. For me, like as long as we have a job, company will pay us on time and stuff, and it's really a good enough thing. Yeah.
I see. Okay. I wonder, since we have just I think last few minutes, whether maybe we can close by having each of you say, I suppose, what your moving forward, what your plans are. I know you touched on it a little bit already, but also what you hope people will take away from watching this film. Shaggy first, then Irfan can have the last word.
Okay. Well, I do feel like I need to make another film soon. Just that I'm gonna take my time, and yeah, I'm just really looking forward to making my next film and looking forward to this pandemic to be over, because I want to reconnect with all the people that I met in this journey, especially the Freedom Film Festival staff, especially in PJ and also in Singapore lah.
And what would you like people to take away from watching this film? Any
take away from me. For me, the takeaway from this film, I only want one takeaway. I want audiences to feel like they have made a new friend from Irfan, and I want audiences to feel like comfortable to make friends with people outside their social circle. Yeah, after watching the film. Irfan, is that your son?
Yeah.
Hello, so cute. How old is he?
He's only 4 months old.
Yeah. Okay. Irfan, over to you. Would you like to tell us a bit what are your plans going forward, and also what you hope people take away from this film?
My plans moving forward is that for this film, hopefully people are much aware of what we are doing and stuff, to be less criticized, to be having less negativity on us lah. More positivity say lah. Doesn't mean we look like bad people or we have like rushing a bit on the road. It doesn't mean we are bad people lah. Just that sometimes it's just that our work doesn't really go the way we want lah. Yeah, so hopefully to be having less negativity in the society like that. So
Thank you. I think those are very good notes to end on. I, for one, learned a lot from this film, and I really enjoyed watching it. So thank you for sharing your story, Irfan, and thank you for making this film, Shaggy. And thanks for this wonderful panel and this conversation. With that, I guess we will say goodnight to the audience members. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.